Hi, welcome. Here's your HMH lesson for today. We are going to be reading Time for Cranberries. You will need your story structure reading graphic organizer. It looks like this, Reading Graphic Organizer 23. Go ahead and write the title of the story down. The title is Time for Cranberries. Write that down. While you're writing, let's talk about what we think the story will be about. What are cranberries, Miss Leia? Very good. It looks like a little ball, and it's a fruit. It's red, right? And it can be, I guess they can be black sometimes. They're my favorite. I love cranberries. Even if you eat them without sugar, they're so bitter, but to me, they're good. But it looks like here that, what time of the season do you guys think it is? Look at the trees behind them. What time, Mr. Yes? Fall. Very good. The leaves are changing colors. The way they're dressed looks like it might be fall. Let's read the story to find out.
The white crane-shaped blossoms that arrive in late spring are long gone. All summer the vines have grown in sandy soil. Now they hang heavy with berries. The cool autumn winds have turned them a rich red color that means it's time to start harvesting. Time for cranberries.
Time for cranberries. Before we start reading, let's go over some vocabulary words. We're going to do these fast. There's the first word is marsh. Marsh. A marsh is a wet, muddy land. Here, it's a wet, muddy land. It's called marsh. Shallow. Shallow is the part of the water that is not deep. So the kids and the dad or the family is jumping in the shallow end of the water. Right? It's not deep. Here, steers. The man steers the car in the right direction. If someone steers something, he or she makes it go into that direction. They're making it go or steer into that direction. We have heave. Heave. It looks like they're packing hay maybe in a truck. When you heave something big, you lift up or push it. So he's heaving the hay. He's lifting it and pushing it. The workers heave the heavy bales of hay into the tractor. Pucker. Pucker up. Look, she's puckering her lips. If things pucker, they wrinkle. Lemons make me pucker my lips. They make my lips wrinkle because they're so sour. Tart. Oh, she's eating a lemon. She has a face on that looks like that lemon is tart. When something is tart, it tastes sour. Sour. That's why when you eat a fruit tart, it's not the same as a cake. A fruit tart is supposed to be sour. It's not super sour like a lemon, but it's more sour. It's more sour than sweet. All right. And then trunk we did the last time. Let's move on. Let's go ahead and read the story.
Dad's pickup truck thumps and bumps down the road. Mom and I bounce in the back seat as he drives through our cranberry marsh. It's harvest time, and I'm finally old enough to help. Dad asks, "Are you ready, Sam?" Yes. We hop out and our waders slip and slurp in the mud. The first beds where the cranberry vines grow have been flooded for picking. The tips of the vines peek out from shallow water. Dad steers the picking machine straight down the length of the bed. Trails of berries hop and pop up behind him. "When can we eat them?" I ask. "When we're done harvesting," Mom says. Now it's time for booming. We keep flooding the picked bed until the vines are completely covered and the berries bob on the water. We pull the boom off a giant spool and it slaps and flaps the water as we toss it in. The foam-filled boom floats, just like the cranberries.
So have you guys ever tried that, putting cranberries in water?
Yes, I
Try it one time. Do they float or sink? They float.
I climb into one tractor with Dad, and Mom drives the other. As the tractors move, the boom collects the cranberries. I watch to make sure we catch every single one. Time for eating? I ask. Not yet, Dad says. Time for corralling.
Why do the cranberry beds need to be flooded before Sam and his parents use the boom? No, but why did they put them in the water? Yes, Leia? No, they're not going to put all those cranberries in the water to see if they float or sink. They can try that with one. Why do you guys put your fruit and vegetables in water before you eat it? Everyone? To clean it, to wash them. Wow, that's an easy question, guys.
We wade in, huffing and puffing as we lasso the cranberries. The wet boom zooms through my hands. I slide and slip. Water rushes into my waders and down to my toes.
What are his waders? Look at what Mom and Dad and the kid are wearing. Those are called waders. Those long boots so they don't get wet. And the boy has a jump like a overalls on, and it's all plastic. It's called a wader. It keeps them from getting wet.
As I fall, Dad pulls me back up and hollers, "Time for splashing." Mom laughs as she sprays Dad with a wet blast of berries. We splish and splash until the autumn air makes me shiver. Dad lifts me out of the bed, and I squish back to the pickup. I always say you're not a cranberry grower until you fall in, Dad says. I have to change into dry clothes, but cranberry growers like me don't mind. You need to be prepared for everything when it's time for harvest. We continue corralling the cranberries into one big bunch called a pot. I need every bit of my super strength to help Dad heave the boom against the weight of all those berries. As we tighten the boom, two spinning paddles push the cranberries to the suction pump and into the cleaner.
That's so cool. I didn't really know the process of how to do this, but that's really cool.
Time for cleaning, Mom says. We climb the ladder to the top of the cleaner. Ripe berries bounce and boogie down the metal grates. I check the spray bars to make sure the water pushes every bad berry and cranberry leaf through the grates and down to the trash truck. The good cranberries fall into the delivery truck and pile higher and higher. Look at all those cranberries, I say. Is it time for eating now? Almost, Dad says. But first, it's time for delivery. While Dad drives down the highway, I pull the cord to blare the horn. The other drivers honk back and wave along the way.
How many of you guys have done that before when you saw a truck pass by? You go like this. And did they actually honk?
At the receiving station, the smell of fresh cranberries fills the air. The truck tips and our fruit pours out, flooding the pool with billions of berries. I can't wait any longer. I reach in and grab a handful. My lips pucker as I crunch and munch the tart and tangy fruit. Finally, I say, time for eating.
So how do cranberries taste? What does tart mean? Sour. They're not sweet. They're sour, unless you put sugar on them, but they're sour.
Day after day and week after week, we harvest. As the last leaves fall, we deliver our final truckloads of cranberries.
Where do you think the family takes the cranberries after they have harvested them? Why?
Because they want to sell other people can eat them.
Good, to sell them so people will eat them.
One frosty morning, I follow my nose to the kitchen. The oven door clangs and bangs as Mom takes out cranberry pies. Yes, I cheer. Time for Thanksgiving.
What time of the year is it?
Thanksgiving!
What month is that? November.
I love every season on our marsh. but I think fall will always be my favorite. For cranberry growers like me, fall means it's time for cranberries.
What is Sam's favorite season?
Fall.
Why?
Because it's time for cranberries.
It's his cranberries. And here it says grandma's homemade cranberry sauce and how to make it. Very cool. All right. Let's take out our reading graphic organizers. What happens in the beginning of the story? Who can, we're not going to make it too long. We're going to simplify this. But who can tell me what happens? What's the very first thing they do? I'm going to go back so you can look at the pictures. Dominic? Very good. They are harvesting the cranberries. So they are harvesting the cranberries. Cranberries. Then what happens? Okay, very good. They wash the berries. Yep. The picking machine takes the berries and they wash. Mm-hmm. They wash the berries. And hold on, in the middle, what else do they do? What do they do after they wash the berries?
They wash off because they got wet.
No.
They splash.
After splashing, I'm talking about the cranberry process.
They dry off.
They get all, it says we continue quarreling the cranberries into one big bunch called a pot. So they put the cranberries, they try to pull all the cranberries into one big pot. So you can, so in the middle, write that down too. They pull all the cranberries into one big pot. And last, no, it says 2 spinning paddles push the cranberries to the suction pump and into the cleaner. So they push the cranberries into the suction pump and it goes into the cleaner. It gets sorted in there. So last, the 2 spinning paddles push the cranberries into the cleaner.
You have to write that?
Yes. Oh, no, what you wrote is fine, honey. What you wrote is fine. You don't have to change that. That's fine. The cranberries get pushed into the cleaner. And very, very, very last, I promise. Don't get mad at me. But very last, it's just like a few words. What happens very last thing? After they clean them and everything, what's the very last thing, Mariah? Good. They take them to the stores to sell. And that's it. Make sure you have that written down. Take a picture when you're done and send it to me. I'll see you later. Bye, guys.